Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. It is time to update my Shop My Stash, which usually for the past year, I do it every couple of weeks. Lately, the past couple of months, I've been doing about once a month. So basically I've been doing it whenever I feel like I want to switch out my makeup, which I've been kind of hanging on to it longer than usual, playing with stuff, which is fine. For me, a Shop My Stash is all about using what I want to in my stash versus all my Project Pan stuff. So a lot of the stuff, I only get to use it once or twice before I put it back, but that's okay with me. For me, it's all about just using my collection and enjoying it. So first I'm gonna go through all of the products that I used and talk about how they worked for me, and then I will show you all the stuff that I have pulled out for the next month or so. Before I get started, we must talk about the tea of the day, my salamander mug. It's actually my daughter's salamander mug. We got this at Great Smoky Mountain National Park. She picked out this mug and she's always after me for using it, but I think it's so cute. Salamanders. Oh, I didn't even talk about the tea. The tea is a chai with a splash of milk. I can't even tell you what brand of chai it is. I'm trying to Project Pan a bunch of the loose leaf teas in my collection that I don't really know where they came from. They're not labeled. So I'm trying to work through a bunch of those things, and that's what one of these, that's what this tea is. It's good though. Okay, let's start with palettes, perhaps, that I had pulled out last time. So let's start with this little Viseart Petite Pro Trois. I had two looks that I did with this. One using the pinky purpley shadows, and then one using the green. I think I do have a picture of the pinky purpley. I don't know at this point. If I can still find it, I'll put it up. In any case, I have been really enjoying using this little Viseart palette. It kind of really was just adorable. I love using it, and it's extremely easy formula to use. The mattes, there was zero effort involved in blending out the mattes. They're very, very user-friendly, and the shimmers are not as high impact as other brands, but I find them to be very flattering on the eyes and to still be very pretty. So this is my first Viseart palette. I really like it. I really enjoy it. Do I think it's worth the money this would be full price? I don't know. That's very subjective. I probably would not pay full price for this personally, but I have it and I like it. The other palette I had pulled out was my Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I did two looks with this one as well, including the one that I'm wearing today. So, Anastasia Sultry palette is quite well known for being a cool toned palette, but you can easily get a very warm look out of it. Today I used Steampunk all over my lid and Birch through my crease, and then the shade Embers, a little bit of it tapped on the outside of my eye for a little bit of dimension. I was really craving using this shade Cyborg, so I think I do have a picture of that look I can at least put up. And again, I was not let down. I'm not usually a huge silver eyeshadow person, but this one, it's almost like a warm silver, if that makes sense. It's almost got a pink undertone to it, and it's just so pretty. I really, really enjoy using that shade. And this palette in general, just so beautiful. So I was happy I was able to get some use out of it, and that is going back to my collection. Let's see, the base product I'm putting back, I had pulled out my Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. I wore this a few times, and then I rolled in a different one into a Project Pan, so I only used this a few times, but that's enough for me. This one doesn't actually have SPF in it, so I don't feel super motivated to work through it super quickly like I do my foundations that have SPF in them. In any case, I feel like while this was still fine, it sits much better on my skin in the summer. So I actually just might put it away until the summertime. This time of year, the very end of winter, my skin is extra just dehydrated and give me super moisturizing foundations. So while this isn't a matte foundation by any means, this time of year, I definitely want all my juicy foundations. So anyway, I'll put this one back until the weather is a little bit warmer. But in any case, it did look really, really nice while filming. So there is that as well. Blushes. I had pulled out so many blushes as I was pulling things out of my little makeup thing here. I was like, I have so much blush pulled out from this last round. So okay, so the first one was this one from Sydney Grace. I might actually pull this one back out again. This is the most cool toned blush I have in my collection. It's the shade Stiletto. For now, I'm gonna put it back. I might end up taking it out again just because this time of year, I really, really like having a super, super cool toned blush out. But I've had this out for a while and I haven't reached for it, I don't know, for at least a week. So I'll put it back for now. Like I said, I might pull it back out again. The one that I'm wearing today, oh my goodness, so beautiful. So I put on the lightest little tap of this one from Phytosurgence. This is the shade Inferno. Phytosurgence's blushes are extremely pigmented. Very, very, very pigmented. In this shade, it can look really, really intimidating, but these these blushes, they blend out beautifully. And I did use their blending brush whenever I used it. This is what they call their Sky Fluff brush, and you can use it for whatever, but it's really nice for cream blush. And of course, they made it specifically for their cream blush, so it works very well for blending it out. The Phytosurgence cream blush formula is a really beautiful matte formula. It's not flat, you know, just matte. And this color, while blended out, isn't too much. So, really, really enjoy having something warm like this out. I always like to have a neutral blush out, and this one from Essence was the one I had out this last time. It's the shade Bespoke. This is always a good time using the Essence blushes. Everyone knows, I think at this point, they're only like $2.99, but they're fantastic. Another really good one, I had pulled out my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the satin formula. This is the shade Prenup. I'm actually a little worried that this is drying out a little bit, which surprises me. Like, I feel like the Super Shock shadows dry out a lot faster than the cheek products do, but in any case, I love this formula. There's something about the formula of a bouncy, squishy formula like this, kind of putty formula that's very, very blurring when you use it, which I always notice with this, and the color is so pretty. Same with this one from Bare Minerals, the Bounce and Blur blush. I always have a hard time saying that. It's so bad. Anyway, I had Mauve Sunrise pulled out. This is another squishy, bouncy, putty-like formula that has that blurring effect. Really, really enjoyed using it. This is a great blush for this time of year. This shade, by the way, is also very pigmented, and I always have to be kind of careful with how much I use with this one. Oh man, I thought I was done with blushes. I'm not. I had one more. This is the ColourPop Cheek Dew Serum Blush. This blush, I'm always wondering if it's going bad. I mean, they separate so easily. In fact, they do like when you first get them, so that's kind of what they do. But when they do that constantly, it's like, when are you supposed to know if it's gone bad or not? But in any case, I actually really enjoy using it. It's a very juicy blush. My favorite way to apply it, which took me a while to figure out, because usually I like to use my fingers with cream blushes like this, but I think the way that this looks best is with a stippling brush. I feel like with fingers, it's easy to almost like put fingerprints, just because it's such a serum-y, liquidy blush. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but when you use a stippling brush, I feel like I get the most even application. It's a very pretty formula. I just don't trust it. I'm always wondering, is it bad? I don't know. Ooh, this is so sad. This highlighter from Sydney Grace, I dropped it and shattered it, and the whole thing didn't break, but now I'm being super careful with it. I think I'm gonna put it back in my collection. I only use it when it's super cold out, but I haven't even been feeling using this lately. This is the shade Majestic. It's a very beautiful lilac toned highlight. I only would use it in a very specific cool toned look. If I decide I need it again in the next month, I'll just pull it out, but at this time I'm gonna put it away. Ah yes, I had pulled out a few lip products to compare to Clinique Black Honey, and I know I took some selfies. I'll see if I can find them. First of Clinique Black Honey, so you can see what it looks like on me. Then also the Clinique Chubby Stick in the shade Richer Raisin. I'm a fan of these chubby sticks, by the way. They're very creamy, and they're a very sheer lipstick formula. I shouldn't say creamy, they're just like moisturizing. I really like a good sheer lipstick formula in this color. I mean, it looks wild, but it's sheer. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of myself wearing this. At least I think I do. I hesitate to say that. If I can find it, I'll put it up. But I know I have one of myself wearing this one. This is the Hydrating Core Lip Shine from e.l.f. and it's in the shade Ecstatic. This one is definitely not at all close to Clinique Black Honey. It is more blackberry-ish, more purpley than Clinique Black Honey. Clinique Richer Raisin, interestingly, is pretty close to Clinique Black Honey, although I do think it has some more pigment. I'm saying that like a question because I'm trying to remember. They're both sheer lip products. In any case, I really like them all. I love sheer lipsticks, but these are going back into my collection. One lip product that I don't feel like I used enough is this one from NARS. This is the NARS Lip Glide in the shade Xenon, so I'm going to be rolling this over into my next Shop My Stash. Something that I ended up pulling out during the middle of the month, I don't think I even mentioned this in my last Shop My Stash, but this lip liner in the shade Nude Truffle, I almost said Truffle Haze, in the shade Nude Truffle was actually very, very handy for me this past month. I actually am wearing it today as well with this Revlon lipstick. I ended up pulling a more warm toned lipstick into a project. Let me quick grab it. This one from Bobbi Brown. It's the crushed lip color in the shade Bare. These two together were really, really beautiful. I loved it. I hadn't really played around with this formula too much. I think this is my newest lip liner in my collection. I picked it up a few months back just out of curiosity to try the formula. Using it, I have been loving it very muchly. Because even though it is a sharpenable pencil, which I gotta be honest, I prefer a sharpenable pencil formula, it's still pretty creamy. It's not tuggy or stiff. It's pretty nice. Okay, I think I talked through all the products I pulled out last time. Let's talk about all the newness that I'm gonna pull out for this month. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so last month when I pulled out the Viseart Petite Pro Trois, I was really excited because I was like, I'm finally at a point where I have used every single new palette that came into my collection at the end of last year. I was so excited. Well, I realized that is actually not the case. This was not the last one. I still had one palette I hadn't used that yet, and that is this one from Huda Beauty. This is the Khaki Haze palette, and this can be pretty grungy. I mean, like I said, I have not tried it yet. Just looking at it, it could be pretty grungy, but I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna stick to the light toned mattes and the really pretty shimmers. Let me quick get some swatches of this. Ooh, the shimmers look really pretty. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, this will be super fun to play around with this month. So I think I'm not mistaken at this point now when I say that this is the last palette that came into my collection last year that I have not tried yet. So that will be a goal hit when I finally get through trying this out. I think that's going to be the only powder eyeshadow that I pull out for next month, but I'm going to pull out a ton of creams. I'm going to pull out this little Revlon cream palette, mostly because I want to test the matte shades as eye bases. I finished off the one eyeshadow base that I had been panning. So now I want to test a bunch of formulas and see how they work as eyeshadow bases. So definitely the cream one and this kind of beigey one. This is the Not Just Nudes cream eyeshadow palette from Revlon. So we'll see how that works out. Also the shade Au Naturel from Laura Mercier. This is just a little mini of her caviar sticks. That's what the shade Au Naturel looks like, and I think it would be really nice as an eye base. So I want to try that. I've been thinking I might put it into a project just because, I mean, it's just a mini and there's not much in there. So I feel like if I worked at it, I might be able to finish this, but I want to see if I even like it as an eye base first. So that is why I'm rolling this in. Another one I'm trying as an eye base is this from MAC. So I have used this as like a single shadow before, but never as an actual eye base for other shadows. So this is the classic Longwear Paint Pot. But this is the shade Groundwork, which I already stuck my nail in there. Really annoying. Which Groundwork I feel like is a really nice brown. It's got some kind of cool tones to it, but it's not like gray or anything. I think it's really nice. So anyway, I like it as a single matte shadow, but again, I'm gonna try it as an actual eye base. So many people love it as an eye base, but I haven't actually tried it yet. So I'm interested to see what I think. And I'm gonna pull out some more potted shadows. This one from Revlon, the Color Stay. This is the shade Caramel. I love this shade. I love it because it's not too warm. And I feel like it makes a great one and done shade. That's the shade Caramel right there. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Really love that one. Every time I use it, I'm like, ooh, that is just wonderful. Another one from Revlon that I feel like I haven't got quite as much use out of, and I really just want to get more use out of it, is this one called Praline, which it's more of a pink color. Oh no, you can really tell I haven't used this one. It's starting to crack up a little bit. Hopefully it's not drying out too much. Yeah, it's like a beigey pink color, which I like beigey pink. But I feel like this is something I bought and then didn't really use a whole lot. I feel like I might have tried it once and then put it away. So yeah, definitely interested to use that more. And then from Maybelline, a color tattoo. This is the shade Socialite, which I know I have used this one more than once, but it's been such a long time since I've used it that I don't remember. So that's Socialite right there from Maybelline. I'm so excited to be pulling out all those cream shadows. I love them. Okay, let's talk about highlighter real quick. I'm gonna pull out my Phytosurgence Spectral Shine in the shade Fresh Fog. This is an actual like white diffused highlighter for your face. It's definitely different than anything else I have in my collection, even though it's white. It's not stark. It's very, very like airbrushed looking, and just like when you see someone wearing this, it does not immediately catch your attention that they're wearing highlight. They just look like they have really nice skincare going on their face. But anyway, this, since it's such a pale color, I figure I better get more use out of it before it starts warming up. Not like I tan. I could probably wear this all year long. I would love to be one of those people who has like their winter shade and then their summer shade. But for me, it's mostly just what I want to wear in the winter versus summer. I don't really tan. And then I'm also going to pull out another highlighter. This is a loose highlighter from Sydney Grace. This is the shade Candied Peach. And I'm pulling this out because I think I'm actually going to pull out several peach blushes. So I feel like this highlighter might be really pretty with those blushes. That's it right there. I think it is beauteous. And of course, like any loose highlighter, you use the most minuscule amount of it. I don't think the loose highlighters need to be 7 grams. They're so big because you use so little product. Okay, let's talk about those blushes. So I'm gonna pull out my little mini from Rare Beauty. This is the liquid blush. What do they call this? The soft pinch blush, I think. This is the shade Bliss, which I feel is a very beautiful, soft, peachy color. All right, so that's Bliss. That's so pretty. Oh, and I do have my Flower Beauty blush balm out. I'll just quick give you a swatch in the shade Pinched. This one's out because it is in a project currently. There is Pinched. I'm gonna pull out another liquid blush, this one from M Cosmetics. This is the shade Venetian Rose. I made myself put it away for a month. Now I'm pulling it out again. I really enjoy this shade. Okay, so that's Venetian Rose. I didn't even pull out all these liquid blushes on purpose. It's like the month of liquid blush. I pulled out a lot of blush. I'm looking at this and like, oh my goodness, I pulled out a lot of blush. So I've also pulled out this one from Ilia. This is, what do they call these? The multi-stick. I have the shade At Last, which this is one of those shades that every time I wear it, I'm like surprised by how much I love it. So that's At Last. Another stick I'm pulling out. This is newer to my collection, so I want to make sure and get as much use out of it as possible before my March roundup. Did I say it was from M Cosmetics? I probably did. I'm sorry. But this is the So Soft blush in the shade Pearl Tea, which that is it right there. I'm telling you guys, M Cosmetics blushes. They really, really do blush well. I decided to pull out my other Rare Beauty blush as well. This is the Melting Blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. I'm running out of room. I decided to put that one up there. So that is Nearly Neutral. Do I have more blush? Yes, I do. I'm also gonna pull out this one from Tower 28. This is the Beach Please blush in the shade Magic Hour, which I swatched here. I'm just getting so excited. I love these. And I also pulled out my Undone blush in the lip to cheek palette, I should say, in the shade Rosewood. I did not realize I pulled out so much blush. I really went ham with the blush. That's okay with me. I love blush. That's Rosewood over here. Oh, that's such a pretty color. And then I pulled out a powder blush from Patrick Ta. I've been feeling like soft pinky blushes, and so I really wanted to pull out this one. This is the shade She's Passionate in the monochrome Moment Velvet blush, which these are beautiful, sheer, buildable blushes. Isn't that nice? I'm finally through all the blush that I'm gonna be pulling out. Oh my goodness, I was cracking myself up there. That's a lot of blush. So in addition to my Project Pan foundation, which is my Missha BB cream, you'll probably see this wearing in almost all my videos, if not all of them, for the foreseeable future, because I'm panning this. But I also have a sample that I really want to try. So at some point, I'll probably be sharing my thoughts on I'm looking at my notes at what this is again, the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. I have the shade Opal. I don't want to swatch it for you because I want to actually use my little sample here on my face, but I'm very interested to see what I think of this one. All right, we have reached lip products. I really have been thinking about some of my favorite lipsticks. I have been wearing almost exclusively my Project Pan stuff lately. Like I've really been neglecting just reaching for things in my collection. And so I've been thinking about how much I want to pull up my favorites. So this one from NARS is one of my favorites. This is Dolce Vita. Again, it is a sheer product and it is stunning. I mean, I know we're all aware that lipstick preferences, it all depends on your skin tone and things like this. And I feel like this is one of, for me, my lips but better shades, because my lips tend to be kind of cool toned and purpley without anything on them. So on me, oh, I just love it. I also really want to pull out this Revlon lipstick. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous Shine lipstick in the shade Sparkling Honey. This made it into my favorites last year and I'm still just ooh gaga over this. I love it. It is a gorgeous, sheer, shiny neutral. Oh, love it so much. Something that I have not used in an extremely long time, I couldn't even tell you last time I wore this gloss. This is from Floss Beauty. I got this an extremely long time ago in I think it was an Allure beauty box. Anyway, it's just slightly vanilla scented, neutral gloss. And to be honest, I probably should be panning this next, but it's such a giant gloss that I'm super intimidated by it. So at the very least though, I want to put it in my Shop My Stash. And I want to also use this from Maybelline. This is the Lifter Gloss in the shade Moon. It is a beautiful, sheer, pinky, sparkly gloss. Man, there's nothing much like playing with all your favorite stuff in your stash to make you just excited about makeup again. I mean, I didn't like lose my excitement for makeup, but I was just kind of tired today, and like swatching everything, I'm just like, yay, so happy. Okay, I think that's everything that I have pulled out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you are having a great day today, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.